back with another video. As today we officially start summer league for the Lakers, but that's not what I want to talk about. Um, there's been crazy rumors going on all week, and I've been wanting to gather them all up so I can talk about them here on this live stream. So this is gonna be a good one, guys. We're gonna talk about Kyrie Irving, the current roster as constructed, and could they compete. We're gonna talk about recent reports by sorry. We're gonna talk about recent reports by Jovan Bua from the Athletic, or basically him talking about his thoughts on what do I think, the Genie Bus cryptic tweet, and all this stuff, and what it means for the Lakers moving forward. Are the Lakers on the same page as their players? The front office, LeBron James, Clutch, are they all on the same page? We're gonna discuss all of that. What's up, though? Welcome to the live chat. Hopefully, you guys are doing good. It's Friday. We got Summer League going. Kyrie talks going. By the way, Kyrie was just at the Sparks game yesterday. Crazy, right? I feel like he's already bought into the LA culture. I don't think he'll be down here spending this much time, doing all this stuff that usually Angelinos do, if he wasn't truly a firm believer that a trade would be executed soon. So he looks happy. He looks great. And, he was down here at the Sparks game. They showed him on the Jumbotron. The crowd went nuts. It's a beautiful time to be a Laker fan. Everything's revolving around the Lakers right now, even though the number 1 overall pick and the number 3 overall pick played yesterday. And nobody seems to be talking about that because, that was crazy. Like the domination from the number 1 overall pick, it's crazy to see. It's just one game. We've been talking about Chet, all that good stuff. But all right, so let's start it off with the whole Kyrie Irving situation. Will the Spurs get involved? Now, there's a recent report stating that the Spurs could get involved in a 3-way deal with the Lakers. That way, I guess they could facilitate for us. Now, what do the Spurs get out of this? Well, believe it or not, there's actually some teams that are interested in THT. Worst case scenario, they get a couple of second-round picks out of it. They would have to include a couple of players themselves. I mean, Josh Richardson, somebody who's been linked to the Lakers for a couple of years now. So if you're looking for a 3-and-D starting caliber wing, that would be your guy right there. So that could happen, man. Now, why would the Spurs help the Lakers, right? Popovich doesn't like the Lakers. Well, I believe the Popovich era is about to end. I believe it's about to come to a close, and he's doing everything to set him up for success. You see, they just traded away. They cut Lonnie Walker. They traded away what's his name to the Atlanta Hawks. And it's gotten really interesting because Popovich is not the type of coach to rebuild, right? But this tells me that they're signaling an end of the Popovich era. And so I don't think Popovich will get that involved. If the Lakers want to do a deal and they can get any sort of asset out of it, that'd be perfect. Also, Greg Popovich loves a guy who plays extremely hard. We know Russell Westbrook would fit that mold, and he'd be a 1-year rental, essentially clearing cap. And if they can get an asset attached to that, whether it be THT, Kendrick Nunn, or a second-round pick or 2, I think they would do it for sure. So what do you guys think of that? My boy said, what are you doing with a Sixers jersey on? It's an Allen Iverson, man. I'm an NBA fan overall, bro. Hey, you can't question me on that. Stop it. He says, Sean Marks used to work for the Spurs. That's more the reason. That is also a good reason why. Exactly, man. When you start putting everything together, look, the Lakers play today. The Nets play today in Summer League. They're going to discuss the trade sooner rather than later. It could be today, could be tomorrow. So face-to-face meeting is going to happen. We've heard reports of that. But, I think it's interesting because, like I said, there are reports on the Lakers front office and LeBron James divided on Kyrie Irving trade. Now, here's the latest one. Take a listen to this one by Jovan Bua from The Athletic. Check it out.
I'm not going to see anything happen really until KD gets moved. But with Kyrie, I know he wants to be in LA. I know LeBron wants him in LA. He's been behind the scenes putting some pressure. I think I don't want to get too into it, but the Genie Bus tweet, I think, had something to do with some of the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. So
for what it's worth, and I'm pulling the curtain back a little bit, I looked into that. I couldn't make a ton of progress other than the Lakers owner was feeling melancholy about Kobe. And so, but
I think there's a slight divide right now where LeBron wants Kyrie and some people internally might prefer a Miles Turner, Buddy Hield type deal. And
gosh, I don't know.
But
you hear that? So there might be a power struggle in the front office. Now, we don't know if this report is legit or not. Take it with a grain of salt. But he said LeBron wants Kyrie, and some people within the front office organization might want Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. First of all, Miles Turner would be dope to have. He's coming off of a foot surgery. I love Buddy Hield would fit in nicely with the 3-point shooting. So I could definitely see a scenario where they pivot away from this whole, where they pivot away from this whole situation and go in a different direction, whether it be Eric Gordon or Buddy Hield or Miles Turner. Although we just got Thomas Bryant, so that Miles Turner rumor makes sense a little bit less. He said, Dan, what's up with the Sixers jersey? AI, baby, come on, man. Y'all really going to question Allen Iverson? He said, Net's asking for too much. Of course, and here's the thing. They're at a standoff. But if this rumor is true, this cannot be good for the Lakers. We have to be on the same page, man. Rumor has it we weren't on the same page with the whole Russell Westbrook situation either, right? So my thing is we have to be on the same page. That way, if it doesn't work out, everybody falls on the sword, not throwing any particular names under the table. Now, would I be upset if they pivot away from Kyrie Irving trade? I would be a little disappointed because it's within our grasp. I think if we have to do whatever we have to do to get that done, then I say do it. However, a part of me does not want us to give up 2 first-round picks. A greedy side of me wants us to keep one of them. Now, I understand LeBron's camp doesn't care about picks because, they have nothing to do with his future. But, man, like my thing is, if this trade does not come to fruition, does the Buddy Hield deal, let's just say we get only Buddy Hield or even Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, how does that move the needle? Let's look at our current roster right now. Current roster is LeBron James. Russell Westbrook wouldn't be in the equation, hypothetically speaking, but for now, just put him in. Anthony Davis, Kendrick Nunn, Austin Reeves, Taylor Horton Tucker, Wayne Gabriel, Stanley Johnson, Thomas Bryant, Lonnie Walker, Max Christie, Damian Jones, Troy Brown, and then I'm missing one. But look, at the end of the day, guys, that roster to me is not good enough to win a championship. Now, is it good enough to compete? Hell yeah. That roster we currently assemble right now is going to be more competitive than last season's, even with Russell Westbrook. It's going to be more competitive. Now, I'm not saying we'll win a championship with this current roster, but Juan Toscano, that's the one I was forgetting. But this roster's already got younger, right? We got younger, way younger. We had guys like Trevor Ariza last season, obviously Dwight Howard, Carmelo. We're on the older side of things. Now we got younger. We get more athletic. We get guys who can actually get up and down the floor who are going to play hard, guys like Thomas Bryant, Wayne Gabriel, Stanley Johnson. We saw that infusion. I think what made the Lakers go in this direction this offseason was the infusion of youth and the spark it provided for us. Obviously, it wasn't enough to get us through injuries, but adding Stanley Johnson and Wayne Gabriel, I think, really opened up the eyes of the front office and all of Laker Nation. We really said we have to pivot and get younger this offseason. Well, we did that. Now, what's missing from the current roster? Obviously, a floor spacing point guard, which Russell Westbrook is not, and it would be nice if we can get a shooter attached to it. Now, hypothetically, a 3-way trade between the Spurs, Lakers, and the Nets would land the Lakers some shooters, right? Rumor has it we could land Seth Curry and Josh Richardson potentially. I mean, that would be great. If we could have Seth Curry, Josh Richardson, and Kyrie added to this roster. Now, whether we have to give up Kendrick Nunn or THT, that'll be fine. We didn't have Kendrick Nunn last season anyways. So, man. Now, what do you guys think? Are you guys still willing to trade all the picks, or you guys think we should hold off? And also, does the front office divide between LeBron and Genie potentially concern you guys? Like, that's the questions I have for Laker Nation. For me, I'll answer that right after you guys. He said, how many more 2-ways can we offer? None. They're currently taking up the 2-way contracts. However, you could bring up a guy to the G League team, right? That is an option. He said, we forget we have Bron and AD. That's what I'm saying, Ryan. I've been watching these sports talk shows, and they are quick to discard the Lakers. Last year was age. What is it this year? Obviously, we have Russell, but if we don't have it, assuming my gut is right and we won't have him starting training camp, the Lakers are going to look a lot better. He said, F them picks, LOL. So you're willing to give up 27 and 29? Look, I didn't say I was not willing to give those up, but we have to get the right role players in return. That's Seth Curry, Josh Richardson, or Seth Curry, Joe Harris, whatever combination to bolster up the team, because then that means it takes us now we can't trade any draft picks moving forward. Because remember, the CBA, the way it's constructed is you can trade one draft pick 1 year, and then you have to hold on to that draft pick the next year. However, I do believe you can, draft a player and then trade him. I believe so. I'm not, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, sir. He said, look at the Rams, you go all in. Yes, but I do believe that draft picks are a lot more valuable. Well, actually, no, they're about the same. But I'm saying NBA draft picks are a lot more valuable right now, due to the CBA and the way that the collective bargaining agreement makes it. I feel like it's a lot easier to sign free agents and go over the whatever the cap is, hypothetically speaking, in football, right? But in the NBA, you have a hard cap. You have all kinds of situations where it limits you, right? And this was put in place for teams like the Lakers not to be able to build a super team and then stack it on top of that. So hypothetically speaking, we have 3 super team contracts currently, right? We got Russell Westbrook, AD, and LeBron. So even though we're not a super team because Russell Westbrook fell off, that's one of the things that the CBA is constructed for. So in that sense, I'd say draft picks are a lot more valuable in the NBA because literally you saw what these draft picks been pulling in. I mean, 1 first-round pick's been pulling in somebody like a Christian Wood, who's a very capable big man. Yes, he hasn't accomplished nothing on a winning team yet, but he's going to Dallas, so I think you're going to see him do damage there. And then, not to mention the one where Malcolm Brogdon went to the Celtics for 1 first-round pick and a bunch of no-names. So first-round picks can bring you a starting caliber player and maybe even borderline all-star caliber player. Now, if you're giving up 2 of those picks for a disgruntled star, you'd think, like, on paper, you're losing the trade. However, if you win the championship, none of that matters. So I do agree with both sides here. Now, if you're Jeannie Buss, you have to look at it from her perspective. She did what we wanted. Buddy Hield, right? That was the initial trade. Buddy Hield, we would have been able to keep Kuzma, potentially even re-sign Alex Caruso. Not sure how that would have worked. All right. She wanted Buddy Hield, I'm sure. I've seen Buddy Hield, all chummied up with Jeannie. So it looks like they have a decent relationship. And after games talking and everything. And that didn't fall through because LeBron and AD wanted Russ. That's the true story, right? Now, obviously, at the end of the day, everything falls on the lap of Rob Pelinka. He's the one who has to run it by Jeannie, convince her, and then get it done. Well, it didn't work out, right? The first time. Well, Jeannie could be thinking, well, we traded for Russ, and that definitely didn't work out. We gave up a first-round pick. Now we're going to trade for potentially another player who's questionable, right? In Kyrie, and you're giving up 2 first-round picks? I think this is one of those situations where she's telling Rob, your decision. You want to do this trade, do it. But if it doesn't work out, that's your job on the line. That's your head on a stick. That's what I think is holding up this trade. And so Rob is trying to finesse. I feel like Rob Pelinka is trying to finesse and make sure that he only gives up 1 first-round pick, or if he gives up both, he's trying to put us in position to win the championship, really, because that would be the only thing that puts Rob off the hook. His job is on the line if this does not work out. Let's be honest. Right. So I think I don't have any sources. It's just the way I think, putting 1 and 2 together, seeing all the reports, seeing Jeannie's tweet. She probably feels pressure from LeBron's camp to get this deal done. Right. And rightfully so. Kyrie is elite. Kyrie is only 30 years of age. Kyrie is special and LeBron wants to win. So, of course, it makes sense, obviously. Right. But at the same time, I see it from her perspective as well, because Jeannie Buss, man, a lot is riding on this. So again, the reports are coming up that, there's a slight divide between LeBron and the front office on which players target. Now, here's the worst case scenario. The Kyrie trade does not fall through. The Lakers have another struggling season because we have to stick to Russell Westbrook. And LeBron James ends up opting out of his contract and leaving as a free agent. Now, everybody in the front office is in question because not only did you not maximize LeBron James' final chance of winning a championship, but you lost a big fish for nothing. Right. So that's all you have to think about. There's a lot of pressure on Jeannie Buss's plate right now. And this now the tweet is starting to make more and more sense because she probably misses the era when players weren't getting involved in trades, right? When players just stuck to basketball. But this is not that era no more. And Jeannie has to get with the times. I love her and I support her 110%. But I will give her, my advice would be, okay, player empowerment has, is part of this current CBA. Now, that might get taken away to a certain degree in the next collective bargaining agreement. But as of right now, player empowerment is everything. And if you don't give these elite players, especially players like LeBron James, what they want, they will walk and they will make you look like the bad guy. That's just the way it goes, Is a Kyrie trade happening? I believe so. It's only a matter of when and for what, right? Who blinks first? That's what I believe. All right, my gut has always told me Kyrie Irving since before this year. I told you guys here on the live stream, Kyrie would be a great look for the Lakers, and he's bought into the LA culture. See, for me, seeing him at a Sparks game, seeing him invested in the LA area tells me that he's sending a message to Jeanie Buss in the front office. Like, listen, I would be extremely grateful and happy if y'all traded for me, and I will be 110% in. That's the message is sent to me, that he wants in on the Lakers organization, you know? So I don't know if it sends you guys the same message or you guys think maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I tend to be pretty good at reading the little things. So I think Kyrie wants to be here, right? From everything we've heard, LeBron wants him here, Kyrie wants to be here, and it's all a matter of what is it going to take and will Jeanie Buss sign off on it? That's it. He said Harden just resigned at a $15 million pay cut. That is huge. That is huge for them. You have to listen. I'm not the biggest James Harden fan, but that is an unselfish act, especially today in today's modern day era. And obviously that has to do with the fact that he has a great relationship with Daryl Morey and they trust each other. But, you know, that is huge. And I hope more players do that, especially for my Lakers. That would be great. If Russell would have did that, I think he would have took a little bit of heat off of his back. But because he had such a horrible season and reacted so negatively to the fan base, and then he opted out to a $47 million contract plus the dancing, is going to continue to rub us the wrong way. So now we can't wait till he's out of here. You know, that's the difference. He said, remember the Lakers with Jeanie before LeBron? You guys are crazy. Go all in with LeBron James. Actually, Nate, you're wrong. The Lakers with Jeanie, she won a championship after taking over 1 year. So she actually turned the franchise around. Now, let's go great. I give credit to LeBron James for coming here and having the balls to be one of the first players to join the Lakers. But you also have to give credit to the front office for, so far, they've done everything LeBron wanted. LeBron wanted AD. They went out and they got AD, right? That's how we won the championship. LeBron James has been running the organization. But at some point, there you have to draw the line. You have to say, when is enough enough? Because you have to look out for your future, too. You're not just – see, this is the difference between a real Laker fan and a LeBron fan. Y'all just looking at LeBron's career and saying, do everything possible to get him and win championships. And where I agree with you guys to a certain degree, the franchise always has to look out for the franchise first. And that means not only do we want to be successful now, but in the future. And the Lakers, listen, we were the Lakers before LeBron. We'll be the Lakers after LeBron. We love LeBron. We're thankful. But if LeBron ever feels the need to want to leave, then that's on him. And we appreciate his services. It has nothing to do with that. But at the same time, like LeBron fans, y'all getting a little out of hand with the Jeanie Buss disrespect. All right. She has how many team major owners, take over a franchise, fire their brother, fire their brother. That is tough to do in itself. Hire the right people, allow the basketball president of basketball operations to do their job, whether that was Magic Johnson or Rob or both of them combined, and, get out of the way and just sign the checks. And we won a championship, whether you want to call it Mickey Mouse ring or any ring. 29 other teams did not win that championship. We did. So we're 2 years removed from winning the championship, and the sky isn't falling. However, Laker Nation is used to competing for titles. So I'm halfway in with you guys and halfway out. And the halfway part, which I'm in, is clearly, yes, we want to maximize LeBron and the Lakers' chances of winning the title. But the other half is, no, we do not want to dig ourselves in a hole. It's if you make this trade, it's all or nothing, right? And if it doesn't work out, and I'm not saying it won't, because I love Kyrie. He's one of my favorite players. And I think it will work out. I'm 90% sure it'll work out. But if it doesn't, right? If it doesn't for any reason, all of a sudden now, guess what? Now, if even you LeBron fans are going to get mad and be like, Jeanie shouldn't have gave up that much. I know it. I know how you guys are. So it works both ways, man. We're trying to do what's best for the team, for LeBron, and for the franchise. We just got to be patient as fans. That's the bottom line. I love what Jeanie has done so far. I mean, she has not shown me, like, they call her cheap. Listen, man, half of you guys calling her cheap still using your mama's credit card on Fortnite. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. That's number one. Number two, she went over the luxury tax. I don't know that many owners going over the luxury tax and you can call them cheap. That's number two. And clearly number three, man, she had 3 max contracts on her team. It just doesn't make sense, right? Well, you have to be really, really smart, man. It's not as easy as fans think. This is why we're the fans and they're the front office executives. We are here. We judge with our hearts, right? They're there. They got to judge with their hearts, but with their minds especially. They got to think 5 steps ahead. So I have no doubt in my mind that if there is a fair trade to be had, it will be executed. But if for some reason the Nets don't cooperate or they want extra, then it might not happen. It really might not. He said, then don't do it. We have gutted our team year in and year out for LeBron. Let's build a culture. Again, I'm halfway in, halfway out. I want Kyrie here. If we can have a fair trade, let's do it. If we can't have a fair trade, then they're gonna have to stick to their guns and say no. At the end of the day, the trade doesn't have to happen right now, right? We can go into training camp. Technically, they can set him out. He's gonna be a distraction, right? I don't know too many owners that like to just pay $36 million and have him sitting out for it, right? If they bring him in, he's going to play, but he's going to be a distraction. If they sit him out, what are they going to do? Fine him? I'm not even sure they can sit him out forcefully. Like, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. My boy Humble, what's up, man? He said, I see you cop that AI jersey, Dan. You was contemplating on Twitter the other day. Yeah, man, I had to get it, bro. It's one of my favorite players, one of my favorite non-Lakers ever. And, I'm wearing it because Kyrie is the closest thing to Allen Iverson. And this would make my dream come true. I always wanted AI on the Lakers to play alongside Kobe. This is the next best thing. If I get Kyrie on the Lakers to play alongside AD and LeBron, that's the next best thing for me as a fan. He said, LeBron isn't the type of guy to request a trade. He fulfills his contract and obligations. Definitely. I doubt he requests a trade, but one thing he can do is opt out of his contract and become a free agent next summer. And all of a sudden, the Lakers are back to ground zero, right? Yeah, we'll have all this cap space, but then you got to recruit. I don't see too many major free agents hitting the free agency in 2023, since most of them opted into their contract this year. So, look, all in all, it's one of those things where the Lakers have to tread very carefully. Regardless of what us diehard Laker fans say and you diehard LeBron fans say, we have to be on the same page. The common goal here is to win a championship. So, I'm trying to bring everybody together, man. This is a kumbaya moment because I'm sick of all the Twitter fighting. First of all, I'm sick of player fans disrespecting Jeannie. She already brought us a title and has done basically everything LeBron has wanted. Y'all cannot complain about that. And this is a trend because it has happened everywhere LeBron fans go. Let's be honest. You guys went to Miami and then what happened, right? Pat Riley was the bad guy. Y'all came back to Cleveland and then what happened? Dan Gilbert was the bad guy because he didn't give up Colin Sexton draft pick. Right, to accommodate LeBron and keep him there. Now y'all came to the Lakers. We've done everything up until now. And so you have to keep an open mind to everything, man. But we have to be on the same page. At the end of the day, Laker fans want to win a championship. LeBron fans want to win a championship. And we on the same team for now, right? If y'all end up leaving, and y'all can start your little wars and your little player fan wars and all that later, I'm not going to partake in that. He said, but they won a championship? What are we talking about? He said, it's just July 9th. It's still early. Rob's trying to have more leverage, but I believe Russ is gone before training camp. I do agree with you, Alchemy. I do think there's no way in hell you bring back Russell Westbrook, especially after his name has been scrambled all over trade rumors. He never really bought into LA culture. From the moment he got here, he said he had nothing to prove. Everybody knows if you're a Laker, you got everything to prove. Even LeBron James said it, man. Laker fans, we demand greatness. And he respected that, and we respected him mutually, right? Because of that. So you have to be, it's one of those situations where you come to the Lakers, you better buy all the way in. If you don't, Laker fans start seeing you kind of just came for the fashion and shit, they're not going to be fans of you. Then I hope the trade will be finalized today or this coming days. Excited. AD, LeBron, Kyrie. Me too, Jared. I can't wait to break down a future roster and see how predict the rotations and all that. I can't wait to do a separate video for you guys on that. However, right now, I am going to bring you guys hopefully I have an update later on at 6 p.m. I will be going live around 6:30-ish, right before the Las Vegas Summer League Lakers game. So they play at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I will be live at around 6:30 to break that down. But hopefully we have a Kyrie Irving update. If not, here's the worst part. The rumor is if the Lakers cannot strike a deal soon, they're going to move in a different direction. Now, that wouldn't have me very pleased. Obviously, you guys know why. I don't have to re-explain why. But what can we do that can be a similar upgrade to the Kyrie Irving upgrade? There's not much out there. Buddy Hield is a streaky shooter. I like him, but he's streaky. Eric Gordon's too old, man. I don't want Eric Gordon. When in a year where we're going young, I understand that it's okay to have some veterans, but Eric Gordon has not played winning basketball in years. And to me, that matters. As far as Buddy Hield, at least he has potential to keep getting better and better. He's still young, and he fits the timeline. So I'd be more in favor of that. If we can get Miles Turner, then I'd be hyped, right? Because now our front court depth is going to be out of this world, right? You got Thomas Bryant, Turner, you're going to have Wenyen Gabriel, you're going to have AD. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be really a deep team if that happens. But I don't see that happening because we've tried to get Miles Turner before, and the asking price was too heavy. Now, maybe it's lower now after the foot injury, the surgery, and all that. But, yeah, I just don't see that happen realistically. Any questions, guys? I got y'all. He said, Dan, are you going to be Dan, are you going to record your prediction by game when the schedule comes out? Once we have a set roster and the schedule comes out, yes. I always do my schedule prediction video. You guys know the drill, man. So I'm excited for that, but we're a long way from it right now. He said, Juan Toscano's a dog, bruh. We got a good one, he said, with him. Also, long is Walker says he came for his defense. Sounds like Ham got dogs in the defensive end. I'm saying, and not only that, but Lonnie Walker, it comes from a defensive pedigree. You know, he might not have been the best defender on the Spurs, but to get court time, everybody knows Popovich has you playing hard at all times. So he's going to come in here and bring a dog. He's athletic as well. You guys are going to be very pleased with his slashing abilities and his speed. His kind of speed, he's up there with Russell Westbrook type speed. So he's very, very quick and deceptive. As far as Juan Toscano, I'm very excited for him because he's Mexican. That's number one. But number two, because he's a hustle guy who plays hard even in practice. So he's going to bring that intensity and those kind of glue guys. It reminds me of like the Jared Dudley signing. You need those guys. You've seen this guy was close to Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Clay, everybody in Golden State for a reason, because he's an intensive, passionate guy, and he's 29, so he's a veteran, and he's going to bring that tough. And yes, I do expect him to get limited minutes. I'd be shocked if he started. I expect him to get limited minutes and give us his all anytime he's out there. So I'm excited for him. Let's see. Hopefully he grows in his role and he continues to, carve out his niche. He said, did you see Westbrook dancing on Twitter? SMH, get his goofy ass off my team. Yeah, I've seen him, bro. I feel like he's trying to piss Laker fans off. I don't know what he gets out of it, but it is what it is, man. He's happy in the losing season when he had a terrible year. If that's his style, so be it. It shows me that he cares more about his money than he does winning basketball. And that also explains why he never won nothing, because he has been, he has been around for a long, long time, right? He's been around some major superstar talent. I'm talking, he played around Kevin Durant. He's played with Chris Paul and James Harden. He's played around some major talent. He's never won a single thing outside of his individual awards. So it really shows his mentality, to be honest with you. And yeah, Russell Westbrook fans are going to be mad at me for saying it, but it's just a fact. I believed in him. I thought he could change, and boy, was I wrong. He said, we'd love to go get Josh Richardson somehow. It could happen, man. If we do this 3-way trade, the Spurs should go all out for tanking, man. There's a very good number 1 overall prospect this year coming to the draft, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name right now. But yeah, the Spurs, to me, them trading DeJounte Murray signals a rebuild, and it signals the end of Greg Popovich. So I think this year is just going to be one of those things where he hands over the reins to a coach, whatever that is, and teaches them the ropes, and he'll probably retire at the end of this year. By the way, it's looking for them. Appreciate you, AS. He said, Genie Bus of all Laker fans needs to watch Russ highlights from last year. It will piss you off, Genie Bus. Get it done. Listen, I believe Genie Bus wants to get it done. Now, whether she wants to get the Kyrie deal or the Buddy Hield deal done, I don't know. So I do believe Russ will be off of the team if Genie Bus has anything to say with it. She was not happy. There was a game last year where she walked out. She was embarrassed with the performance that 3 max contracts were putting on the floor and getting whooped by a younger team. So, they promised change, and so far there's been tons of change. I think only casuals don't understand how much better we've gotten this offseason. We've gotten a lot better. All right, Thomas Bryant is an upgrade to Dwight Howard. Even though Dwight is a Hall of Famer and has had a better career, last year was not his best year. And I love Dwight. I'm not trying to slander him any way, shape, or form. But that was an upgrade. All right. Who else? Let's see. Trevor Ariza and Kent Bazemore. We got Juan Toscano, upgrade to both of those, to be honest with you. And then we also got Troy Brown Jr. So that's an upgrade there. And then Lonnie Walker to Malik Monk, to be determined. It could be an upgrade if Lonnie Walker buys in defensively. Like you said, he's just here to play defense. He buys in defensively, could be an upgrade. However, we did lose a little bit of offensive firepower there. Malik Monk was a better offensive player as of right now. However, Lonnie Walker's still only 23, so we'll see. Sometimes a young player's career starts off lower than the other one and eventually overlaps him. So we'll see. He said, how do you feel about Kyrie, Seth, Josh Richardson, and 2 picks, bro? He said, I'm with it. I feel complete our championship roster. Kyrie, Seth, Josh Richardson for the 2 picks. Yeah, I do that. Again, it's all about getting the right role players. You know, it's all about getting the right role players, man. And I'm not going to answer any more Allen Iverson jersey questions, man. If y'all don't understand the concept of being an NBA fan overall, yes, I'm a diehard Laker fan first, but what I can love retro players, that's weird, bro. You're acting like a jealous girlfriend in a relationship. That's so weird to me. I do like the trade, though. Thanks for the donation, bro. I definitely love the trade. I think it's spectacular if that happens, right? You're getting 2 starting caliber players, even though one most likely will come off the bench. You're getting a superstar in Kyrie. You unloaded Russell Westbrook's contract. And yes, you give it for 2 first-round picks, but at least you got 2 great role players to go along with a star. I think that's bang for your buck, for sure. And like I said, I'm not opposed to giving up the first-round picks because, you know, the Lakers have historically made a great killing off of the draft, whether it be undrafted players, late second-round picks, late first-round picks. Lakers make a killing one way or another. Look, it looks like we got another one in Cole Swider, right? It looks like Scottie Pippen Jr. is very formidable as well. But, you know, I'm excited, man. Let's see. He said, DTLF, I watched a lot of Lonnie Walker. He's a very streaky player. He's young, and that's what you get with young player. That's what you get with young talent. You get a lot of youth, right? You get inconsistency. But hopefully in the role that we put him in, he finds his niche a little bit better. If he buys into the defensive end, anything he gives you offensively is going to be a plus because now all of a sudden you're going to have a super athletic 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan, whatever wingspan he has. Out here on the perimeter, like a dog. And it's similar to the type of effort that Austin Reeves brought last year. If you look at his stats, it wasn't the best, but defensively, he was a dog out there. And you can have 2 dogs coming off the bench. Now you're talking. You got 3 with Stanley Johnson. Now you're really talking. You add 4 with the Wenyen Gabriel. That bench mob is going to be a little scary, man. Appreciate you, Craig. Thank you, brother. He said Allen Iverson had a lot of love and respect for Kobe and the Lakers. Yeah, man, listen, people that question my fandom as a Laker are just at this point haters. You should know how much of a diehard I am, no matter what jersey I wear now. You won't catch me dead wearing a Celtic jersey or a Clipper jersey. Those are the 2 no-nos. But when it comes to retro jerseys or even other players I like, I got a Luka Doncic, I got a Trae Young jersey, I got a Vince Carter Toronto Raptors jersey. That shit is fire. I've worn that on this channel before. So there's no need to explain. I mean, you could be a diehard Laker fan and still like other legendary players. And like you said, the fact that Allen Iverson and we just had a great relationship and the respect factor makes it even better. Do you think Lonnie Walker's a legit starting 5? What? Starting 5? Oh, you mean in the starting lineup? Okay, my bad. I think he could if somebody gets injured or we miss somebody is injured or COVID protocols or anything like that, yeah, he could step in for sure. But do I think he's a long-term starting 5? Not as of right now. We're trying to win a championship. We need a real one. We need Kyrie, man. Would I wear a Kyrie Celtic jersey? Hell to the motherfucking no, man. That's a hell no. Never. I don't care if Kobe would have, God forbid it, but if Kobe, when he was alive, God rest his soul, would have wore a Celtic jersey at any point, I would have never wore it anyways. It's team first for me, man. He said, where are we at in the Kyrie talks? Is this getting done this weekend? We're at the point where they're about to meet face-to-face. Now, obviously, there was a report saying it was going to happen some point this week, whether it be the weekend or next week, but it's going to happen. They're going to meet face-to-face. They're going to talk Sean Marks and Rob Pelinka. They've had dialogue before, but it was only preliminary dialogue according to multiple reports. So this might be the one that, closes the deal. But it could also sour the deal if they meet and Sean Marks is at a point where he's like, we want to give you whatever we want and we want to take whatever we want. Rob could walk away. His job is on the line as well. So we have to think of it from an objective standpoint. You can't be subjective. You can't basically pick and choose when you want to be crucial and when you don't, right? Appreciate you, Lakers over everything. He said, Harden takes a pay cut and Josh deal has no player option. Will be interesting to see if Kyrie or LeBron would leave some money on the table with us. That is a good point. That's something we have not talked about. So I'm glad you brought it to my attention. Another thing LeBron could do as well, and this is something people haven't factored into it, is he could opt out of his contract, wait for the Lakers to sign some major free agents, maybe 1 or 2 max free agents, and then he can opt back in after we get the role players and everything. That's another option because remember, once you have his bird rights, because he's been with us for multiple years, all of a sudden you can go way over the salary cap, and but the key here is they're going to have to sign multiple free agents before LeBron signs his max contract. So that is an option. That is always an option. But I'm curious. I'm very curious, man. Summer of 2023 is going to be even more interesting than this one for many, many reasons, right? Is it Kawhi? Who is that? Sounds familiar. No clue. He said, Dan, the fact that the Nets wanted 5 first-round picks for KD is going to make things more complicated for the Lakers. They're going to want the first 2 round picks with Kyrie. And like I said, man, that is okay with me if we give up those 2 first-round picks because we have success in the draft regardless. But if we're going to give up those 2 first-round picks, they cannot have their cake and eat it too. We're going to have whatever role players we want in return. All right. It's not like they're going to compete if they trade Kyrie and KD anyways. Right. Their goal should be to bottom out. So it shouldn't hurt them to throw in a Seth Curry if we want a Seth Curry. Right. And I think that is where everything is holding up the negotiations. I'm sure the Lakers do not want to get swindled. We don't want to give up the 2 first-round picks, THT, Kendrick Nunn, whatever they want. And then they throw in Joe Harris over the player we want. It's that simple. He said, Dan, trading for Miles makes no sense when we just signed 2 bigs and they got Huff in the summer league. That's why I say take every rumor with a grain of salt. There's no way in hell that that's going to be our priority. Now, I believe you if we are going for Buddy Hield for maybe THC in a 2nd-round pick or something like that. But I definitely don't see the trade you're talking about. He said, Lakers show can always get free agents. We don't need picks. Yeah, but draft picks do have some value, man. And sometimes you need those to get out of certain bad contracts or bad situations. So they're not just, people look at draft picks as just draft picks and players. No, these are assets, man. It's like having a stock. It's like having a stock and you know what that stock can really blow up and be worth a lot more, especially if you have bad years, right? Or it can be worthless. No, it's never worthless, but it could be worth less. That's what I mean. But listen, we have to be intelligent as fans. We have to think like a GM, like a front office exec. If you were Rob Pelinka and they're offering you Kyrie Irving and whatever the heck, contracts they want for Russell Westbrook, THT, or Kendrick Nunn, whichever one you value the most, 2 first-round picks, maybe a couple of seconds attached to that, would you do it? Especially knowing that you already whiffed on the Russell Westbrook trade. Right? This trade, if it does not work out, puts the nail in your coffin. You put yourself in his place. Would you do it? And Jeannie says, it's on you. If you give up all that, that's on you. But your job is on the line. You doing that trade? Especially knowing how volatile Kyrie has been in the past off the court, right? According to ESPN and everybody. Would you still do that? That's the real question you have to ask yourself as a fan. Put yourself in that seat. It's never as easy as it seems. Some of y'all just play 2K all day, man. And y'all think the trade is like snap of the fingers, like, yeah, I'm getting Kyrie and, I'm just going to do it just like that. Nah, there's a lot that comes with making those trades. There's a lot of stipulations and things on the back end that can affect you and impact you long term, right? He said, Russ for Donovan. Donovan Mitchell is not even requesting a trade, and I think the Jazz are probably going to play hardball and try to maximize his contract. The market is dead right now. See, if you're any other player or any other team, you do not want to request a trade right now because Kevin Durant has ruined the trade market for everybody. Matter of fact, I'll go one step further. Rudy Gobert and everything he got ruined the market for everybody, so nobody knows what the value is on certain players, right? Like, how are you going to ask for 4 first-round picks and a young, talented star player, up-and-coming star, for Donovan Mitchell, when that's probably the asking price for the Kevin Durant deal, right? Teams would probably rather take that. So, yeah, the market is closed right now for other all-star caliber players up until the Kevin Durant situation gets resolved, in my opinion. If not, I think you would have seen a lot more free agent signings. I think you would have seen a lot more trades happen by now. Remember, Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, they're still up for grabs, right? You still have a lot of situations up for grabs in the NBA. But we need the main piece of the domino to fall first, and that's the Kevin Durant deal. Maybe Kyrie gets dealt before him, maybe not. I don't know. He said, I remember when the Flippers traded for Paul George for like 7 picks. That's what I'm saying. You just never know what the market is going to demand. Dan, what do you want to see tonight at the Summer League game? I want to see Scottie Pippen Jr., Sharif O'Neal, Cole Swider. I want to see all these guys. Max Christie show improvement from the California Classic to now. I want to see how Phil Handy has worked with them. If like there was a play where Scottie Pippen Jr. attacked the rim and he passed up a layup for a contested 3, that's a no-no, right? Especially if you're a point guard. So we have to be, they have to improve, and I want to see that improvement mainly. But I'll keep the rest of my Summer League thoughts for pregame. That's a great question, Tage. I can't wait to talk about it later. Lakers would have enough to get Donovan Mitchell. We'd be getting Kyrie at a discount. Do you think we have enough to get Donovan Mitchell? I don't know, bro. I don't know if we have enough to get Donovan Mitchell. They could be asking for a lot more, and they probably want up-and-coming draft picks that are worth a lot, right? So I'm not sure. Mac McClung was taken by the Warriors. Yeah, and on that note, yeah, listen, they can poach players away as long as you don't sign them to some sort of deal. If you guys weren't aware, you can poach players away from other Summer League teams. That's why sometimes they put them on 2-way contracts. That way Cole Swider can't be taken away. Scottie Pippen Jr. can't be taken away, right? But McClung is a decent little player. He never did anything that like really, outside of his athleticism, like he never did anything that really moved the needle for me. But I wish him the best in Golden State. Now, he could end up with the South Bay Lakers anyways, regardless, right? He's only playing for the Summer League team, so he's still not under contract. But yeah, that's the way it works, man. Now, I do want to talk about one more thing before I get off. Darren Collison worked out again. This is the second time this summer for the Lakers. Why? We have plenty of guards already. That also makes me think, yes, Russell Westbrook will get traded inevitably, and they're looking for backup guards. But wouldn't you guys rather give that position to like a young up-and-comer like Scottie Pippen Jr., since he's already on a 2-way contract, give him some PT there or whatnot? Because I'm not a big fan of Darren Collison at this stage of his career. I liked him when obviously he was around the league as a journeyman when he was in his prime, but we're trying to go away from the old stuff, man. We want some youth. What do you guys think? Does Laker Nation, would you guys give a chance to Darren Collison? He's a great guy. He's a nice guy and all that. But, personally, me, yeah, I don't see why they keep working him out. Tasia says, yes, Scotty Jr. None will be on the move in a trade. I think so, too. I think that's why they're working out these guards, for sure. Is it Collison messed up his chances? Yeah, I definitely didn't like when Jeannie took him out to dinner and he rejected us. It's like, who does that? Who rejects the great Jeannie Buss? No way, bro. Why are you even taking that dinner if you knew you didn't want to be a Laker? And now he's having second thoughts and regrets. I really dislike it when people are indecisive, man. Sometimes great opportunities only come your way once in a while. And we still gave him a 10-day contract last year. So, yeah, I didn't even like how he looked in. J Huff got to stay. That's facts. We have one open roster spot, and I wonder if we're going to keep it open just in case the buyout market is kind to us, or are they going to give it to somebody since we can always cut a player anyways on a veteran minimum deal? Collison is old AF. That's funny, dude. Yeah, it's not so much the age from – yeah, I mean, well, it is the age. I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't the age. But at the end of the day, man, I'm going to say this. If Collison comes here, then I'll be okay with it. But it's not something that I think the Lakers should there's going to be a lot of free agents on the open market available, especially if we land Kyrie. You're going to see some guys that you probably thought wouldn't sign here for the minimum. Huff over Darren Collison. I agree. I like J Huff. We saw a big difference in the California Classic finale when J Huff was not playing. Hey Dan, here's my bold statement that I won't be surprised if Kyrie gets traded specifically to the Lakers, but not Kevin Durant, not to the Lakers, because trading may be difficult. Do you agree? Wait. So you think Kyrie gets traded to the Lakers, but not Kevin? Yeah, of course. That's an easy assessment. I never expected Kevin Durant to the Lakers. I thought there was a possibility there, but the chances of that happening are slim to none. I've always said it. But Kyrie, I still feel great about it. Till there's a report that says that trade talks have fallen apart and teams are moving in different directions. I'm not going to feel discouraged by anything that happens this weekend, because as long as there's open dialogue, we never know. The Sean Marks can wake up one morning and say, all right, you got yourself a deal. Is that, when you're mulling over something, sometimes it just all of a sudden clicks. Like, all right, this is a good deal for us. Let's take it. Dan, do you think the Spurs will help the Lakers? No, I think the Spurs will help themselves, because if they get a young asset like a THT or something like that, then they'd be helping themselves, bro. I don't think they'll be helping the Lakers. Nobody's trying to help the Lakers, but they'll definitely participate if there's any sort of benefit. If there's any sort of benefit. He said with limited minutes for guys that far down the roster, they may need guys who are okay with playing limited games, but just want opportunity. I'm not mad if we sign Darren Collison, but there's going to be better options for me. Yes, sir. Joe, you already know what's up, bro. Dan, when have the Spurs ever helped us? Never. No, the Spurs only help themselves, man. We know that. They're great at drafting foreign players and stuff like that, but I don't think any team is ever helping any team outside of maybe the Clippers, who have deep pockets, probably sliding some under-the-table money to get that. And like that Norman Powell deal still makes me throw up. Like, how did they get such great role players for nothing, for little to nothing, right? But look, if this trade gets done, I expect it to get done rather sooner rather than later, right? Because the longer it drags out, the less of a possibility, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong. They could just wake up a month from now and say, let's get it done, shake hands, and it's done. But I think the longer it drags out, the more of a chance of the Lakers saying, hey, I'm tired of this crap. Let's go get Buddy Hield. I'm tired of this crap. Let's go unload Russell Westbrook right now. So that could happen. There's a chance of that. But I'll keep you guys posted on anything, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. Shout out to my sponsor Prize Picks. 100% deposit match guaranteed. There is Summer League entries you can put right now. So promo code DTLF if you guys want 100% deposit match guaranteed up to $100. And I played yesterday. I didn't win anything, but it's always just it is an extra stake in the game when you are playing Prize Picks. So definitely check them out. And I'll see you guys later on for Summer League pregame. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And if you already haven't subscribed and smash the like button, please do that. I'll see you guys later.